Hello, so if you've seen my previous video about, it was a question really, not a criticism, asking about carpet fitters and carpet fitters installing a carpet that then means a door is too tight and won't open and close. So there's been a very active TikTok video of mine, a lot of comments on there, a lot of views. Some people saying that carpet fitters there to fit the carpet, it's the carpenter's job to make the door fit. Now, I agree, it's a carpentry job, it's not a carpet fitting job, it's completely separate, different, separate set of tools. However, what I'm talking about specifically is domestic residential projects, not a building site, someone's home, they're actively living there, been there 10 years, and then what they're doing is they're saying, right, these carpets are worn out, they need replacing. The doors are all installed, there's no work ongoing, it's not an active building site, it's not a renovation, it's not a refurb. They just want some old carpets taken out and new carpets put in. The carpets are there on the floor, the old ones. Bring in a carpet fitter for a quote, here you go, we'll come down to your showroom or whatever, choose a different colour, you measure up, and yeah, we want some underlay as well, and you can use the old grippers or whatever it is that's, it's the normal thing, just replacing carpets. And they do that, choose the carpet, the job's booked in a month later, and the carpet fitter turns up, takes out the old carpets, you're paid to dispose of them, and then installs new carpets. Great. Then the new carpet is a little bit thicker than the old one, or the old underlay that was thrown away has been replaced with new underlay, which is slightly thicker than the old one for whatever reason. The customer didn't specifically say they wanted a thicker carpet or deeper pile or thicker, sound insulation, but it just turns out that it is a few mil thicker. So the door is too tight. Now the carpet fitter probably took the door off to make installing the carpet easier. They didn't have to take the door off, they could have done it without. The door does still open and close, but it is just too tight to be comfortable. Now, I've never seen it on a carpenter's quote, and I don't know why I've never seen it. Personally, me, if I was quoting for a carpet, I would write this on my quote, but I've never seen it. Why don't they write, cutting doors or trimming doors may be necessary and it's not included in the price? Why don't they write that? Why is it assumed that that it's okay to take a door off, fit a carpet, and then not put the door back on, or put it back on and it's too tight? Why is that assumed that that's okay? Like, as a customer, I'd be like, oh, well, you didn't tell me that you would be leaving me with 3 doors in my corridor that don't fit anymore and are left just propped up against the wall. I didn't know that. If I had known that and you said that wasn't included, I probably would have, when I approved your quote and booked this in, I probably would have contacted a carpenter to have them lined up for the following day to come in and trim those doors and reinstall them for me. That's not an issue. I'm not saying the carpet fitter's got to sort out the problem of the doors. I'm just saying they should write it in their quotations that trimming doors is not included. If it was me and I was installing a carpet, or I've done laminate in the past, I would write it on there that it's not included, but I can take the door off and trim it for an extra, let's say, arbitrary figure, £20. Now, £20 is not going to cover fitting a new door, that's going to be more like £70 or £80. But simply taking one off, taking it downstairs, taking it outside, trimming a little bit off and putting it back on, relatively minor job, and you're already on site installing the flooring, whether it's laminate or carpet anyway, then £20 seems like, okay, fine, could be 25, could be 30, but it's not a massive amount. Customer would probably be happy to do that because they don't have to arrange another trade to come in the following day or days or weeks after to do this small job, and that other trade coming in's made a special journey for it, so it's more expensive and it's really not worthwhile. But yeah, why don't carpet fitters write it on their quote that it's not included? And why don't they write it that it's not included but can be included as an extra? Because I think most people would take that on and do that. Following on from that, a few comments sort of said, well, it's clearly the carpenter's job. Yeah, but it's a residential house, like there is no carpenter on the job. The carpenter doesn't exist, it hasn't been thought of, it's not booked. So it's a bit like saying, let's say that you installed, let's say you're rewiring a property, not the whole thing, just like a conservatory, an extension or something. Sparky comes in, chases out all the old stuff. Now this is the old, age-old joke that they don't clear up after themselves. Well, they chase out the wall, and they do pick up their rubble, put it in the skip, in the bag, whatever they've swept up, put in a new cable. Now every Sparky that I've had do work for me has always included putting the bonding in. Yeah, you could say that's a plasterer's job. Yeah, it is a plasterer's job, but the Sparky's doing it because he made the hole in the wall. He's going to fill the hole in the wall. He takes responsibility for sorting out the mess or the hole or whatever it is, repairing the damage that he's potentially caused. That's part of his job. He made the hole, put the cable in, he's going to cover it back up. Then the plasterer comes in and does a skim. To me, that's the Sparky's job to put that bonding in. I normally say to them, don't worry about doing that. I prefer to do it myself because it's something that I know that I can get a better quality finish than the Sparky. That's not to say that they shouldn't include it. They should include it because they made the hole, you know. Same as if you raise a floor level, the result of your work means those doors no longer function. It's your responsibility to sort those doors out. You could subcontract it, you could tell the customer it's extra, whatever, but it's still down to you to do that. Same as if you are doing general building work in a customer's house, you put down some dust sheets, whatever, you do the work, and afterwards you take the dust sheets, clear it up outside, but there's still some dust that's like got dropped on the floor. The builder doesn't just turn around and go, that's the cleaner's job. You know, when the builder's finished that job, the house should look the same as it looked when they walked in the door, plus whatever lovely work they've done. So I think it's more about responsibility. You can't just turn around and go, well, that's the cleaner's job. The householder would be saying, I don't have a maid or a live-in servant or a cleaner. That's me, the customer, clearing up after you. You're not a child. You should be clearing up your own mess. Same as the Sparky should be clearing up his own mess. Any mess that's created, any result of your work, whether that's raising floor levels, doors don't work, whether that's making a hole in the wall, then making it good afterwards, whatever it is, you should be sorting it out. So when you leave, the property is as you found it. That's the main point that I can't really get over. Another example, plumber puts in a new sink or puts in a gas hob or a basin or whatever it is. I would expect that they're doing the silicone around the edge of it. Now, there are plumbers that have done work for me in the past where they've literally just bolted the sink to the wall and put the waste pipe and the supplies to it. And I think that's a half-assed job. I think that's, you haven't taken on the responsibility from start to finish. And I can't understand why doing the silicone wouldn't be included. If you go, yeah, but that's extra, that's more. Well, why aren't you including it in your quote to make the job a little bit more like profit for you? Like, why are you leaving work on the table and turning down work that to me is within that job? Putting in a sink, a hob, basin, part of that job is the silicone to finish it off nicely. It's not usable, it's not ready to be used until that's done. Let me know your thoughts. I wanted to clarify my position.